Thank you very much. And let me now recognize Senator Jeff Merkley. Jeff is the chairman of the Subcommittee on Chemical Safety, Waste Management, Environmental Justice, and Regulatory Oversight. And we'll recognize him for his statement. Jeff, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Chairman Carper and Ranking Member Capito, for today's hearing. As chair of the Chemical Safety Subcommittee, it's absolutely critical we examine the impacts to public health and well-being of the people of East Palestine following this disastrous derailment of a Norfolk Southern freight train that was carrying tons of toxic and hazardous materials, and certainly the impact coming from the plumes of smoke that burned for over 2 days. This tragedy demands accountability because future derailments will happen. Unless we learn the lessons of this incident, there will undoubtedly be more derailments with devastating impacts on additional communities. For years, my office has been hearing from Oregonians who are terrified about the risks of trains rolling down the tracks in the middle of their towns full of toxic chemicals. They remember when a Union Pacific train derailed in Mosier, Oregon in June 2016, spilling some 42,000 gallons of crude oil in front of a school, a massive fire, damage to the water and sewer systems, and the debris made their way into the Columbia River. And they remember the billowing tower of toxic black smoke that could be seen for miles and miles up and down the Columbia Gorge in an area blanketed in toxic ash. At that time, Senator Wyden and I pushed for huge improvements in track maintenance, improvements in the brakes, improvements in the tank cars, improvements in the pre-positioning of supplies to respond to disasters, and improvements in communications. But the progress was very limited. Since 2015, there have been 100 derailments of trains carrying hazardous materials, 1 per month. In this coming year, there'll probably be another 12 at this pace. As of 2017, around 1 million tons of hazardous materials is transported by rail every day. And that was the last year the numbers were released, and I suspect they're even higher today because we have growing supplies of toxic chemicals, particularly related to the plastics industry. We know the danger posed by these chemicals. We know that when they're going down the rails, there's the possibility of a disaster, but there's so much that can be done to limit the odds of disasters happening, and that's our responsibility. We need to recognize that when a derailment occurs and toxic chemicals like vinyl chloride are leaked, people are aware that these chemicals cause lymphoma and leukemia and cancers. And so they're absolutely, legitimately, extremely concerned, and many residents of East Palestine are complaining about all sorts of health issues. So let's have this hearing today be an opportunity for us to examine not just the response, but how to prevent these derailments in the future, the type of investments that are required so that future communities are not terrorized by these derailments that are happening at a pace of once per month. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Capito, for the opportunity to share those comments.
Senator Merkley, thank you so much.